Hello, everybody. The number one most common question I receive by far is how do I improve my writing? And a lot of the time, people want a quick fix. They want some kind of formula, and unfortunately, I can't give that to you. But there are some very simple, very standard ways that you can improve your writing. But it may not be something you want to hear or something you even want to do. I'm gonna list this anyway because that's how I make money. This topic was requested by one of my patrons over on Patreon, Ryan. Like so many of you, Ryan wants to know the secrets to improving his writing, and while I don't think any of these things are necessarily secrets, I'm happy to share them. If you'd like the chance to have a video dedicated to you, or if you want access to tons of other rewards, check me out on Patreon. I've got it linked below. Now I'm breaking down my 5 best tips to improving your writing. If you hate my answers, I mean, yeah, I kind of already told you that you would. The first and the most obvious step is to read. If you're an aspiring author who doesn't read, your writing sucks. Don't get mad at me, I don't make the rules. It's fine if reading isn't your favorite thing to do. It's fine if you don't read 100 books a year. And it's also fine if you listen to audiobooks rather than reading physical books. But you need to read in some form in order to improve your skill set. And you need to read through a writer's eye, or ear, if you're listening. That means paying attention to sentence structures, to metaphors, to tropes. And it especially means reading within the genre you're planning to write in. Reading within your genre serves 3 purposes. First, you're hoping to pick up new skills. Reading expands your vocabulary, and it can improve your grammar and prose if you're paying attention. Second, you're trying to figure out what sort of stories you want to tell. What's working for you within the genre? If you're diving into romantasy, do you prefer the epic side or the cozy side? Do you like enemies to lovers, or do you prefer green flag romance? Do you prefer purple prose, or are you more of a straightforward writer? Reading will help you figure out your direction and perspective. And lastly, we read to get an understanding of the market. Sometimes you gotta read what's selling, particularly in your genre. The goal isn't to read these books and regurgitate them, okay? We're not copying around here. But it gives you an idea of what other readers are interested in and why they're interested in it. What tropes are selling? What character types and conflicts? Do you have to write these things just because they're popular? Obviously not. But if a particular character type, for example, the anti-hero, is selling really well and you happen to love anti-heroes, this is really promising information. You can totally write an anti-hero in your next book knowing that this is a marketable aspect that works in your favor. Second step, study the nuts and bolts. Too many writers happily admit to having zero understanding of grammar, and that's insane. Imagine being in literally any other field and casually admitting that you don't know the basics of your own career. Plenty of aspiring authors have vivid imaginations and amazing ideas, but ideas don't mean anything if you don't know how to write them. No one cares about your idea if they can't read it because the grammar's so up. This is not my way of saying that you need to understand every rule under the sun. Editors exist for a reason. But editors are fallible human beings, so you want to be as prepared as possible. And an editor won't even work with you if your prose is an absolute train wreck. But Jenna, I don't know how to brush up on my grammar and sentence structure. Where do I even start? Google. There are entire articles, websites, and programs devoted to teaching people about syntax, active voice, punctuation, all that good stuff. There are also books about these things available online and at your local library. And when you do write a novel and it does go through the professional editing stages, ask your editor questions. If they leave a correction you don't understand, ask them to explain it to you. It's literally their job. Every editor I've ever had has happily explained M-dashes and semicolons to me. Honestly, they're probably just excited to have someone to geek out with. On a related note, step number 3, read writing craft books. They're not all good, okay? I've read a lot of them. But I happen to know 2 in particular that'll knock your socks off. What do you think? But seriously, people are always asking how to improve your writing like there aren't actual books available devoted to teaching you how to improve your writing. There's not a whole lot to say on this point because it's pretty self-explanatory. If you want to learn about something, read a book about it. If you want to learn the craft of writing, read a writing craft book. Especially these 2. Fourth step, outside feedback. Writers don't enlist editors for fun. In fact, I'd argue that it's the opposite of fun. But it's their job to improve your manuscript, and working with them will help you improve your craft. Say you're nowhere near the professional edit. That's fine. Enlist beta readers and critique partners. A beta reader is someone reflective of your target audience. They don't have to be a writer or editor. They're just someone who likes to read the types of books that you're writing. They will give you their readerly perspective. They'll tell you what about your story they like and what about it sucks. Critique partners are usually fellow writers, and they'll analyze your writing from that perspective. Depending on their skill level, they can give you critiques on anything from your grammar to world building to character arcs to sex scenes. These people are supposed to tell you what is and isn't working. And it may make you feel like shit, but you will not get better if you don't know what's working. Some writers avoid feedback. They claim they don't need it or they're above it, but the truth is they're scared and they don't want to have their bubble burst. And these are the type of people who get nothing but 1-star reviews and then complain that no one appreciates their genius. Don't be this kind of writer. Let people help you get better. You need an outside perspective to help point out your blind spots so you can write the best book you're able to write. And the final, most important step is to write. This is for all the writers who say, I'm not going to start my manuscript until I get better at writing. That's like saying, I'm not going to swim laps until I'm a faster swimmer. Do you see how stupid that sounds? How do you think you get better at swimming? You swim! You do the thing! Are your first works going to be Probably, yeah. That's just a part of the process. You have to be okay with writing some mediocre stuff, maybe even terrible stuff, before you write anything good. And for what it's worth, you don't have to start the manuscript. You can write something else, as long as you write something. If your goal is to be a fiction author, then writing original fiction is always going to be the best way to improve your skills. But if you don't want to do that, you can write short stories, you can write fan fiction, you can journal, but you're not going to move the needle unless you write. Practice is how you hone your skills. And this should be good news because you like to write, right? That's why you want to be a writer. So stop making excuses and start writing something possibly bad, or maybe definitely bad. And keep writing bad stuff until it gets good. I believe in you. So that's all I got for you today. If you need more help writing your very own book, check out my writing craft books, Shut Up and Write the Book and How to Write Romantasy. They're available at all major retailers. I have them linked below. If Romantasy is more your vibe, check out the first 3 books in the Savior series, The Savior's Champion, The Savior's Sister, and The Savior's Army. They are now officially available in Kindle Unlimited. I have them linked below. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I post new videos on Wednesdays and I host live streams on Mondays. And if you want to be alerted as soon as I upload, ring that bell. Bye. Have you subscribed to my channel yet? I mean, you totally should. I post new videos on Wednesdays. I also host live streams on Mondays and they're super fun. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel and be sure to ring that bell. That way you're alerted as soon as I post new content.